Hey guys, this is Lim from Lim Reviews, and today I would like to share with you a brand new device that I just managed to get my hands on. This is the Xiaomi Mi 9 SE, the phone that was released in conjunction with the Xiaomi Mi 9. So just to be clear, the Mi 9 SE uses a processor that is far less superior compared to the one on the Mi 9, and this is meant to be a mid-range smartphone. So don't expect this to be like what the iPhone XR is to the iPhone X, or what the Samsung S10e is to the Samsung S10. Anyways, let's see if this smartphone in the box is worth your money or not. Oh, and again, if you guys like my videos or my previous videos or whatever, feel free to follow me on YouTube, Twitter or Instagram at Lim Reviews. I post a lot of pictures taken by the devices that I'm reviewing on Instagram, so it would be great if you guys can follow me there. Alright, let's jump into the unboxing right away. So let's look at what we have in the box. We have the Xiaomi 9 SE, the silicone case, Type-C cable, charger, your Type-C to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter, and some manuals which, I'm not going to put it in here because it's going to spoil the look. Alright guys, now that we're done with the unboxing, let's go through the specs of the Mi 9 SE, but follow me closely as I'll be going through really quickly. So processor wise, we've got the Snapdragon 712. RAM, 6GB. Internal memory, 128GB that is non-expandable. Display, 5.97-inch AMOLED display, and a 20-megapixel selfie camera at the top. Moving on to the back, we see 3 cameras here which seems to be the norm these days. This comprises of the 48-megapixel main camera, 13-megapixel super wide-angle camera, and an 8-megapixel telephoto sensor. We also have a 3070 mAh battery, and the device is running Android 9.0 right off the box. It is also NFC enabled but does not come with any wireless charging. Last but not least, let's talk about the price. I got the Xiaomi 9 SE for 2,300 RMB here in China, which is approximately $350 US, 24k rupees in India, or 1,400 ringgit in Malaysia. Looking at the specs, this seems to be a solid smartphone, but how does it actually feel like to use? Let me share with you my first impressions with the Xiaomi 9 SE. First off, let's talk about the design. There really is nothing to shout about here. This is as standard as it gets with smartphone design. It comes with a small teardrop notch, a not so thick chin, and some pretty slim side bezels. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Mi 9 SE is a bad looking phone. I just feel that it looks a little bland, and that is maybe because of the color option I chose. However, design preference is really subjective, and I'll leave it to you guys to decide whether or not you guys like it. While we're at it, I want to point out that there is a really nice AMOLED display here from Samsung that is capable of producing some really nice colors and contrast levels. It is not super saturated like the ones on actual Samsung devices. In fact, it is more natural to look at, and I am happy with it. Under the display is the fingerprint scanner, which up till today doesn't inspire confidence to use. Like other in-display fingerprint scanners, the one on the Mi 9 SE is not the best out there and results in a lot of hit and misses. I definitely would prefer a physical one that sits on the back. Build quality wise, the Mi 9 SE is built really well, just like the Mi 8 SE used to. It uses a 2.5D glass on both the front and back surfaces, which is really nice to touch. The curved sides are also made of metal as claimed by Xiaomi, but whether or not it really is metal, I cannot tell. I must say that it does feel nicely polished and gives an overall rather premium feel to the hand. At the end of the day, the phone seems to be built well, and I have no complaints on build quality. Moving on, let's talk about performance. In terms of performance, first, let me share with you the benchmark scores that I got from testing the Mi 9 SE. Here, you can see that the Mi 9 SE scored 179k on Antutu, and that puts it in the region of the Honor V10. Again, to remind you, this is a mid-range smartphone, so this is not surprising. Having said so, I always say that benchmark scores are just for reference only, so let's talk about real-world experience. During my one-day encounter with the Mi 9 SE, I can say that handling basic tasks on the Mi 9 SE was a breeze. Launching apps, navigating through the device, and even gaming is really smooth on the Mi 9 SE. As this device is a 6GB RAM version, I expected nothing less. In fact, let me talk to you about gaming since we're talking about performance. During PUBG, I felt that gameplay here was really smooth. I mean, take a look at this. I'm not on the battlefield, but you can see that movements, shooting, and even the dust particles are so smooth. I didn't feel or notice any drop in frame rates, and that's really amazing. I would go to the extent and say that gaming here felt somewhat similar to gaming on the Vivo iQOO that I reviewed yesterday, and that device is built for gaming, so that's saying a lot. The back of the device does get a little warm after some gaming, but that's nothing too serious. Overall, I'm really satisfied with the performance on the Mi 9 SE. Moving on, let's talk about the camera. As I've just got the device, I haven't had the chance to take a lot of photos. However, I did manage to get in some sample shots for you guys of course, so check this out. Here is a sample of a macro shot which turned out really well. And from the same position, here is what it looks like with ultra wide turned on. Impressive, isn't it? Again, here is another shot that was taken close up, and this is what it looks like with ultra wide turned on. I did notice however that images that were ultra wide were a little noisy and not that sharp. So the quality of ultra wide images are not really good, but it's still usable. It really does the job of getting that super wide view and could be useful in very tight situations. In terms of night shots, here are some samples for you to check out. I personally like the HDR effect in each of these night shots and would choose these over the ones taken on my iPhone any day. Okay, now let's talk about the issues with the camera on the Mi 9 SE. This could be a software issue, but sometimes when I try to take macro shots or shots that are really close up, notice that the reaction time is super slow. After pressing the shutter, the image is only taken about 5 seconds later. This happens every now and then and it's really a pain in the... Another issue which I find more widespread on Xiaomi devices is the slow reaction when you hit gallery after taking a photo. Naturally, you will want to check out the shot you just took, so you hit gallery, but sometimes the button seems as if it is not ready for you and only after 1 to 2 seconds later will it work. This is somewhat annoying to me and could be a deal breaker for me if it is not solved in a quick update. Alright, moving on, let's talk about the speaker on the Mi 9 SE. The speaker here is a single firing speaker that sounds pretty decent. To avoid copyright issues, I will not be playing a sample here, but trust me, it sounds pretty okay. It is not too tinish, it doesn't break at high volumes. Yeah, it's really good for a single firing speaker. It's not great, but it's just good and you can definitely listen to some music here with no problems at all. Last but not least, let's talk about the battery. Battery-wise, I'm going to be really honest, I haven't really got to test it out thoroughly enough, but I did notice battery dropping fairly quickly during my time gaming on the device. Overall, I would expect a screen-on time of 4 to 5 hours due to my typical heavy usage. Nevertheless, I will report back here once I'm done testing, so do stay tuned for that. Charging-wise, the charger that came in the box is not the fastest. I get about 20% in 20 minutes, but this is just very standard. It is not like super quick charging, and overall, I would say that battery-wise, I'm not very impressed. Alright guys, that's it for my initial impressions with the Xiaomi Mi 9 SE. There are some pretty good stuff going for it, like the good build quality, the nice display, and the triple cameras. But somehow, the bad interface of the camera is not putting a smile on my face. It really bugs me out that the camera just doesn't work properly. I mean, that's the most basic feature and it just can't go properly. So I also didn't find the battery life very good. The fingerprint scanner was unreliable and it doesn't come with a notification LED. So one thing that kept going on in my mind is how this would compare with the Redmi Note 7. I got the Mi 9 SE for 2,300 RMB, and as I recall, the Redmi Note 7 costs just 1,200 RMB. At this point, the Redmi Note 7 is basically half the price of the Mi 9 SE, but I am simply not convinced that the Mi 9 SE is 2 times better than the Redmi Note 7. In fact, given a choice, believe it or not, but I will probably choose the Redmi Note 7 over this. However, that's just my personal opinion and the final decision is always up to you. As always, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, feel free to leave them in the comment sections below and I'll try to answer each of them. Once again, this is Lim with Lim Reviews and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!